Hello, hello, hello. Now, because a few irritating things have continued to happen, I want to talk today about the word disability. Now, let's start with what the definition is of disability. Here it is.
Disabled, having a physical or mental condition that limits their movements, senses, or activities.
I have just double checked, and it is from the Oxford English Dictionary, so it is an official definition, but I've got a major problem with it because why does a disability have to limit your movement, senses, or activities? Why does it have to limit that? That's my argument. Now, why am I coming to talking about this? Well, because there is a very large trend when I go swimming of people that assume that because I'm disabled, I am not able or I am less able. So it happened again today. I was getting into the pool and there's a bloke in the lane that I normally use, but it was quite busy to begin with. Now, he wasn't too bothered. He just asked me, did I want to go around in circles? Did he want to stay on this side? And I stay on this side. And I said, I don't care which way. So off I went. Now, I wasn't actually that much slower than him. It took him actually 700 meters to catch me and gain a length on me. So it wasn't that much different. Anyway, that's irrelevant. He got out and I carried on swimming. And there's a guy in the next lane gets in and he is with his children. Now, I didn't realise he was an adult to begin with, and I wasn't even really paying attention too much until I saw out of the corner of my eye somebody making a large splash just ahead of me, and I realised immediately what was happening. They'd obviously set off and decided they were going to race me. So I just carried on. I can increase my pace without increasing the speed of my arms or anything else. So I just increased my pace, got to the other end before this person, and then realised it was the dad in the group. And then I turned around and carried on, and I just swam, and I swam today 2.5 Ks, and I didn't stop. I just carried on going. And this person did one length like that, and then gave up, and then played around in the water for the rest of the time, and never swam another inch. Now, it was quite obvious to me they expected to be able to go faster than I did. This happened yesterday as well. Somebody else that was doing breaststroke did one length of freestyle at the same time, happened to leave the end of the lane at the same time to see if they could get to the other end faster. They could not. So they changed strokes back to breaststroke and then carried on and then got out before I did. This happens all the time. Now, it happened before when I had 2 feet and I used to swim, but honestly, it happens even more now. Nearly every time I'm in the pool, somebody in an adjacent lane does this. And I've decided it is because people assume that because you're missing a part, you can't do anything as well as anybody else. Well, honestly, that's a load of nonsense. Because yes, you can. And there's no reason why, because you've got one arm, one leg, whatever part it is you're missing or whatever, there's no reason why you cannot do the same things as you did before, that you can't do things as well as you did before, or perhaps even better than you did before. There is no reason at all. And it's society's impression that disabled means, oh my God, you need some help. Because that happens all the time as well. I was walking towards the changing rooms at the end of my swim today. Now, I don't get offended by this. I just find it slightly niggly, and it all adds up to this whole disability argument. And there was 2 children coming out of the changing rooms, maybe 9-ish, perhaps age 9. Now, I was on crutches. I had the key for the disabled changing room in the side pocket of my rucksack, which is on my back, and I'm wearing my swim togs. And I've put everything else in the bag. And the kids came up to me and said, are you all right? Yeah, perfectly all right. And I just said that and then carried on. But it just gets wearing. And people always, I've mentioned it before, people always asking if you need help. No, If I wanted help, I would ask for it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And most of the time, it's don't. The only time I actually need help in the pool at the moment is to get that chair and put it over here because I'm on one leg with crutches and I physically don't have a spare hand to do it myself. But trust me, when I've got a foot back, I will be doing it myself. No, I won't need any help. So yeah, why is it that disabled means less able? Why is that? When you do a Google search on images, that you're seeing people of all sorts of different types of disability and wheelchairs and whatever, but the actual definition itself is what I have problems with. Now, when you go back to the Oxford English Dictionary and you look at the term disable, that means to put something out of action, to limit somebody from doing something. All of those sorts of things is what the word disable means. Disabled should be different. Disabled to me means I do things differently. So I prefer it to be called alternatively enabled. I am not disabled per se. I hate having to use that term. I access the world slightly differently to everyone else. That does not make me less able than anyone else, which is what disabled seems to mean. It means that I access the world differently to you. And that's what I have a problem with. So what would you determine as being the definition of the word disabled? I'd be interested to hear some of your thoughts on how you would word it if you were putting the definition into the Oxford English Dictionary. I'll remind you again what the definition is at the moment.
Disabled, having a physical or mental condition that limits their movement, senses, or activities.
So, I would love to hear from you if you have got something that is making you alternatively enabled. I would love to hear from you. If you do not, I would love to hear from you. If you have somebody who is disabled that you know, family or friends, or I would love to hear from you and your views on people in the community that are disabled. Would you say that they are less able or not? What is your view externally as a third person of somebody that is disabled? I would love to hear from you. So please do put a comment below or contact me or something like that, because I'd love to get this discussion going, because I can't believe that is the words in the definition of this word. And I'd really like to get a discussion going because I want to hear some other people's views on this.